In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the if function. The if function is a very powerful function to use because it allows you to do a lot of comparisons to see if a condition exists in a worksheet as far as your numbers, and then if it does, any calculations that need to be performed. So in this worksheet, what you're seeing right now, you'll see that this is for November bonus pay. We have in column A a list of the sales representatives, in column B their sales for the month of November, and then in column C, bonus this month. And all I want to show up in this cell is, do they get a bonus or do they not get a bonus? And then in column D is the bonus amount that they're going to get. So we're going to do this if function twice. So what we're going to do is we're going to set the condition here. The condition is going to be if a sales representative sells $55,000 or more in the month of November, they get a bonus. All right, so that's the condition. If they sell $55,000 or more in sales. If they do, we want the word true to show up. If they don't, we want the word false to show up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Formulas tab. This is what we refer to as a logical function. A logical function is just testing whether something exists or doesn't exist in your worksheet. So then we're going to go to the if function. Now the if function, let me just move this over to the right so you can also see our numbers here. The if function contains 3 arguments. Out of the 3 arguments, the first one is the only one that's required. The second and the third argument, which is the value if the condition is true or the value if the condition is false, if you don't put anything in these 2 arguments, then it's just going to display the word true if the condition is true or the word false. All right. Now let's go to the first argument, which is what we call the logical test, and this is really the comparison. Okay, what are you looking for? So remember I said that if they sell $55,000 or more in sales for the month of November, they get a bonus. All right, so let's go ahead and let's do the condition. Now when you do this, it's just like setting up a formula. So we're going to say, let's see if in cell B4, because remember, column B represents their sales for the month of November, if B4 is greater than or equal to, and we said 55,000, right? 55000. No need to put the commas in there or the dollar sign. All right. This is no different if you were looking at this yourself and had to say, hey, does this person get a bonus? Yes or no? Well, yes, they sold over 55,000 in sales or more. All right. Now, if this person does, we're just going to have the word true show up. I think what I'm going to do in this video, though, instead of having the word true, I want the word yes to show up. So if you want something other than the default to show up for the second and third argument here, then go ahead and type it in. So I'm just going to type the word yes. And if the condition is false, if they didn't sell $55,000 or more in sales for the month of November, then I want the word no to show up. All right. So you can see that our condition is if in cell B4, if the value in that cell is greater than or equal to 55,000, so that's the condition we're looking for, we want the word yes to show up. If that condition is false, then the word no will show up. And you can see right away it's already given you the answer based on the information that's in cell B4. So let me go ahead and click OK. All right, let's check our condition. Did Michael Anderson sell 55,000 or more in sales in November? And you can see that in cell B4, yes, he did. Let's go ahead and copy this down using the fill handle. All right, now let's check this next one here. All right, B5. Again, we're doing relative referencing. So is cell B5 greater than or equal to 55,000? Again, that's the condition. If it is, we want the word yes to show up. If the condition is false, we want the word no to show up. And this condition happens to be false because they did not sell 55,000 or more in sales. You can see that for Mary Duggan. She did sell over 55,000 or more, so the condition is true, so the word yes showed up. Same thing for Evans, Jenkins, Yodo, all the rest, well, not this one. This person here, Drusius, they did not sell 55,000 or more, so the condition is false. So therefore, the false argument shows up, which is no. Okay? And that's one way that you can use the if function, just to test to see if a condition exists or doesn't exist. Now, in column D, you'll see that a number had already popped up, and I'm going to go ahead and erase this because I want to walk you through this one. I want to show you how you can use the if function to not only see if a condition exists or doesn't exist in your worksheet, but also to do any calculations if it does exist. So what we're going to do is we need to figure out how much are they going to get in their bonus pay for the month of November. Well, we're going to give them let's say 2.5% of their sales if they sold $55,000 or more. All right, so the condition is if they sell $55,000 or more in sales for the month of November, their bonus paycheck will be 2.5% of their sales. So let's go ahead and do the if function again. It's really the same condition. All right. We could use the information in column C, but we're not going to because I want to show you how to do this if you didn't do the if function like we did for the column C. So if their sales is greater than or equal to 55,000, all right, then we want to take how much they sold and multiply it by the bonus rate, and the bonus rate is going to be 2.5%. Now, you could have also had that 2.5% in a cell somewhere in your worksheet. Otherwise, they get absolutely nothing. So instead of having the word false show up or the number 0, if we want to just leave it blank, we could do quote, quote, and that's just a little trick to say, hey, I don't want a number to show up as far as 0. I don't want the word false to show up. I just want to leave the cell blank. Okay, so let's walk through this. Here's the condition. All right, in cell B4, which represents how much they sold for the month of November, so that's their sales. If it's greater than or equal to 55,000, then, okay, this is the true argument. We want to take how much they sold, B4, and multiply it by 2.5%. If this condition is false, we don't want anything to show up in the cell, so we're just going to type in quote, quote, which is the same as leaving it blank. Let's go ahead and click OK. And this cell was already formatted for currency to decimal places. Let's go ahead and fill handle it down. There we go. This person did not have sales of 55,000 or more, so the condition is false. All right, so here was the condition. Is cell B5 greater than or equal to 55,000? No, it is not. Therefore, it's going to not do the formula that we have for the true argument, but what it is going to do, it's going to go ahead and perform what we have in the false argument. And by typing quote, quote, we just left it blank. This individual, let's see, they obviously met the condition. Is cell B6, which is $75,000 in that cell, is it greater than or equal to 55,000? It is true. Therefore, Excel is going to do the calculation in the true argument, which is take what's in cell B6 and multiply it by 2.5%. So therefore, it doesn't need to do the false argument because, again, the condition is true, so it does the true argument. And that's how you can use the if function.